Welcome to the very first episode of the ATP podcast, guys. First of all, why do this, 'di ba? Bakit kailangan gumawa ng podcast for this? Okay, I'll share with you my reasons. I'm a Filipino. I believe in the goodness, the honor, the ingenuity of the Filipino people. We have a history na medyo deprived tayo sa resources, and this has cultivated a spirit of resourcefulness, the ability to make things work. Diba? Galing ng Pilipino. Um, and then we find joy in this process as well. Galing natin magpatawa, galing natin mag-joke during, even in very serious times, diba? Parang iba talaga yung humor ng Philippines. Pero may problema din tayo. We lack financial education. Hindi tayo naturuan sa school. I know, para sa akin, through high school and through college, very financially uneducated. I mean, thankfully, I was able to go through decent education preparation sa high school and sa college, and I'm very grateful for that. However, kulang ako sa financial education, and I feel like a lot of us kay kulang din talaga. So, I'll talk about that more later, but that's the main problem that we're going to try to address here in the ATP podcast. So, since we have a lack of financial education, we don't know what to do with the money that we make. Diba? We just know that there are bills that need to be paid. There's the basics, food, clothing, shelter. Pero aside from that, hindi na natin alam kung anong gagawin sa money. So we typically spend it all, and then we live from paycheck to paycheck. This is a common problem all around the world. But for Filipinos, in our specific situation and context, there's something that needs to be said about it as well. Now let's move on to some typical topics. Okay, word or the question of the day: rich versus wealthy. Okay, what does it mean to be rich? To me, yung rich, parang medyo surface level siya na term for me. I mean, it's just for me, my perspective. Na it's a bit focused more on the material wealth, like wealth that you can quantify, like how much money do you have in the bank, how many properties do you have, do you have a car, do you have a certain lifestyle, then we can consider that rich. Yung word naman na wealthy is, I feel like it's a bit deeper and a bit more, parang kumbaga, meron siyang spiritual na connotation to it. Like, it speaks about your legacy also and the life that goes beyond you. I feel like that's what wealth speaks to, aside from being monetarily rich and having a lot of property. I feel like wealth also speaks to your health. You have a healthy life, you have beautiful relationships, and yeah, aside from the typical items that we would perceive as kanang richness. By the way, I'm from Davao, no, Bisaya. So, mamix ko talaga yung Tagalog tsaka Bisaya. So, just be gentle with your criticism of me kasi lalabas din yung pagka-Bisaya ako from time to time, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm proud of it. Kanang mugawas gina siya. So, just enjoy the ride, guys, while we're here in this podcast. All right, so we talked about like a simple difference between rich and wealthy. Now let's talk about investing. What is it? Very simple definition of it is putting in money and expecting a return later on. A monetary return, a multiplied harvest. So it's like kung farmer ka, you plant a seed, and then of course you expect na after 90 days, or kung pala yung tinatanim mo, 'di ba? Harvest ka tapos benta mo, nagmultiply yung money mo. Investing, there's so many techniques and styles to explore, to work on it. Pero for now, i-explore muna natin yung mga, siguro mga basic and very common na mga asset classes na pwede natin tingnan together. And then I'll share a bit of a take on each one. So, yung mga pinaka-common ngayon na sinishare is stocks, UITFs, yan for paper investments. Stocks meaning you have a part of ownership in a certain company. There are different types of stocks. There are preferred stocks, there are common stocks, and there's dividend paying stocks. Like you want to explore that further, pero basically it represents a share in the company. Yung UITFs naman, they're called Unit Investment Trust Funds. So these are BSP regulated na mga kinds of investments na pwede mo ma-explore. So banks offer these, institutions offer these UITFs. Baka dati narinig yung tinatawag na mutual funds, parang similar. It's just that mutual funds are regulated by the SEC, and I feel like UITFs are a bit more strict because Bangko Sentral ang regulatory body nila. So yung UITFs, they have certain kumbaga strategies for each one, for each fund. Tapos dapat basahin nyo yung fund fact sheet, okay? Na nagsasabi kung ano yung strategy nung ginagawa ng fund na yun. Is it conservative? Is it moderate? Is it aggressive? Does it fit your risk profile and your investment horizon? You need to understand these things. By the way, guys, full disclosure, I'm a certified UITF salesperson. And if you want to know what company I represent, you can send me a message or an email so that I can show you what funds you can invest in. And I myself, I'm an investor as well. So we can talk about that further. The next place that I suggest you invest in, and this is a great starting point, is high interest savings accounts, digital banks that are now existing here in the Philippines. Now, of course, I would suggest na, syempre, start ka dun sa mga traditional banks like the major players, BDO, BPI, Union Bank, China Bank, Metro Bank, all these major players in the banking industry. Syempre, para meron ka din yung experience na may kausap ka na teller, alam mo yung account mo, ganyan, may makausap ka. Pero yung digital banks, they are so good. And I made a video about Gotyme already in my YouTube channel. You'll find it in the videos. It's my best performing video so far, by the way. So thank you guys for support. I really appreciate that. But I'm talking about Gotyme and the perks. And there are, para sa akin, yung top 3 na alam ko and ginagamit ko talaga ngayon is Gotyme, Seabank, and Maya. So yung Gotyme, para sa akin, mas maganda yun siya for starting. Like, from 0 to 100 to 150K, even 200K, okay siya, no? Maganda siya na starting point kasi parang it doesn't force you to spend, wala siyang mga missions whatsoever. It just gives you 4% per annum. And that's one feature of Gotyme na I really like, no? Generous yung kanilang annual interest without all these missions that you need to accomplish. Yung Maya naman, they start with, I think, 2.5 or 3.5 per annum. Tapos, you can build on top of it by accomplishing certain missions. Now, hindi ko siya gusto, especially for starting out. Kasi you're forced to spend certain amounts of money. Like, kailangan mo mag-spend ng 10K, for example, using Maya, or 25, 30, 35, even up to 100K yung mga missions niya para ma-accomplish mo yung mataas talaga na parang interest rate in a month. Tapos magre-reset yan siya every month. No? So, it forces you to live a certain lifestyle. Tapos kung hindi yun natural sa'yo, it's gonna be difficult to catch up to it. Pero kung, for example, meron kasi nag-comment dun sa Gotyme ko na video na, shout out to you, sir. Thank you for sharing your experience as well, na siya, business owner siya. Tapos madali lang yung 100 plus spend sa kanya in a month. No, he specified like mga 30 to 50K na parang spend somewhere there. Natural yun sa kanya kasi business owner kasi siya, small, I think medium business owner, somewhere there. So, naturally, you'd need to spend for like overhead and capital sa yung business, sa yung mga inventory, ganyan. So, mas madali na mag-spend kasi part yun ng business mo eh. Pero for like basic personal finance, you have a simple financial structure, like you're working 9 to 5, for example, or if yung ganun yung style mo, it doesn't make sense to me yet. So that's why there's tiers to it. And like Gotyme versus Maya, yan yung parang take ko sa kanya. Yung Seabank naman, gusto ko naman yun kasi parang daily yung interest rate niya. Tapos yung advantage sa kanya is well, this is the one advantage I like really is like the telco promos. Like meron siyang 3% off sa mga load promo. Kung nagpapaload ako ng mobile data, ganyan, may 3% off siya. No? So, it gives me that advantage. Versus kung sa GCash, 120 pesos is 120. Dun sa Seabank, kung nagpaload ako doon, the same promo, it cost me about 116 pesos. I mean, yeah, guys, it's like piso-piso lang man yan. Pero if you just add it all up to the greater economy of things, um, it might be helpful. Well, it's not might. It helps. It helps you to push you forward a bit. All right, so that's my take on high interest bank accounts. Let's move to real estate. I recently, or my wife and I recently, got into real estate, trying to purchase a home for ourselves as well. Um, Hindi pa masyado ako like super deep and educated into it. I just know that when buying real estate, don't just buy it just for the sake of investing. You have to have a clear purpose in mind. Like, what am I going to do with this property? Am I going to live in this property? Am I going to turn it into a commercial space? Am I going to build a house on it? Am I going to turn it into an apartment or something like that? Dapat medyo clear kung ano yung purpose of the real estate, kung ano yung ginawa mo dun sa land na yun. Tapos yung location din niya is important kasi real estate sometimes it doubles in price so fast, like 5, 7, 10 years nag-double na agad yung price, and that's amazing, right? That's an amazing return. Pero sometimes it takes 15, 20 years before it doubles. Sometimes, kung sa gitna ng nowhere na hindi nagde-develop talaga na area, you can't expect it to gain anything more from you except perhaps maybe build a rest house in it. Even that is like, are you willing to go through that process? Do you want that for your life? So these are questions that you need to answer because real estate is quite, kumbaga, mahirap siya pasukin. So hirap din lumabas if you need, like, it's less liquid compared to paper investments such as stocks and UITFs, and insurance policies. Mas mahirap to get your money, pero it's also very rewarding. Okay, this can be considered as a nice end game for for life, 'di ba? Parang dami kang property and things like that. Pero yun nga, para sa akin ang take ko sa ngayon is like be very clear with the purpose and the feasibility of your expectations when buying real estate. Um And then, of course, insurance policies. Para sa akin naman, insurance policies are, they are very, very useful, especially when you need them the most. Quick story, guys. My father passed away when I was 13 years old. Tapos tatlo yung anak niya. Third heart attack. Tapos, he didn't make it, So, after all those years, na naiwan niya kami, the great thing is, meron din siyang insurance policy. So what my mom did with that, being an insurance agent that time, financial advisor, if you call it that, um, she used the proceeds from my dad's insurance policy to, first of all, renovate our house kasi binabaha kasi kami dito dati. So, needed na ipaakyat yung bahay. So, after that, no more flood. Medyo na-preserve yung aming household, the physical space. And then, the next thing she did was yung naiwan na money, yung interest nun, yun yung ginagamit niya for the annual payments sa aming education. So, tatlo kami na napatapos talaga ni mama and papa through schooling because of that insurance policy. So, it's very near and dear to me. And then, follow-up story naman, unfortunately, in the later years, my mom also contracted cancer. So, yung insurance policy naman niya, nakatulong din kasi meron yung critical illness benefit. So, ang total na nakuha namin doon is 1M. Although we spent way more than that in hospital bills and taking care of mama and the household and everything. Pero that really helped us during a difficult time. Of course, family and friends nag-chip in din. So, parang medyo na surpass talaga namin yun na stage. And then, after 8 years of battling, thankfully, nakaabot pa si mama sa aming wedding, ganun. Pero after 2 months, yeah, less than 1 month nga, I think she already passed away. So, another, meron talaga mga tragedy sa buhay. Share ko lang yung konti, yung na-experience ko. Pero, insurance, it didn't change the fact, but it certainly made getting through it a bit lighter and easier for us as a family, and for me personally as their son, eldest son. So, yun ang parang story ko sa insurance. That's why now I have my own insurance policies. I'm a financial advisor myself. I do this as well, no? So talagang na ano talaga ako because of that story. I support other people who want to explore this venture. I know it's a need, especially for people who have a family. It's a need. It's not like, yeah, gusto ko ganyan, nice to have. It's seriously, guys, you need it, especially if you're a father, you're a mother, you have children, you need it. Okay, so about to wrap up here, guys. But I have a couple of points that I want to share with you further. Dalawang main points na lang. Number one, the creator economy. Okay, let's talk about this. It's a bubbling industry. People getting into YouTube, getting into Facebook, Reels, TikTok, ganyan. It's a bubbling economy. What used to take for it to double mga 15 years ago, parang it took 15 years. Forbes is predicting na in the next 3 years, oops, hit the mic there. In the next 3 years, the creator economy will double. So what used to take it 15 years to do, it's going to take less time now because it's just bubbling up. And don't be intimidated. Everyone can get into it. As much if you're interested, you can get into it, the creator economy. Because as much as the creators are coming in, the audience is also growing and increasing. So people are also using YouTube, Facebook, Instagram to learn and to consume content like this. So that's the creator economy. So guys, last point na talaga, the best investment you can ever make is in your ability to produce wealth. Put money into the ability to produce wealth, and you will gain returns that are far more than all these other vehicles that are being offered to you. 'Di ba? Stocks, bonds, UITFs, real estate, insurance, yun yung mga diniscuss ko ng mga vehicles. And these are other people managing your money for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's good that you can distribute some of your wealth there. But the biggest returns really are when you cultivate your ability to produce wealth. Monetarily, what does that mean? Let's say you have 1 to 2K, 5K, and you put that into your ability to make good decisions, to learn how to make good decisions, to learn a high value skill that is demanded in the marketplace, diba? Supply and demand. You supply what is demanded. So you meet that need, and people will pay you for that. And say you invested 5K in learning a new skill, diba? Buying a course or paying a teacher, for example. And then people pay you like a total of 300K at the end of the year. So, are you telling me that yung 5K na highly demanded na skill, nag-multiply siya to 300K at the end of the year? Now, I'm not saying that it magically happens. It needs time and energy and attention from you. Like, there's this saying na where energy goes, money flows. No? So, kung saan mo nilalagay yung energy mo, yung time and yung attention mo, doon din lalabas yung money. And if you catch my drift here, there are certain pursuits in life na can love you back, meaning they can return money to you as well. Like there are types of relationships like that, like business relationships, for example. Certain pursuits such as, it's a bit meta, but like speaking on stage, on digital stages like this. These are ways that you can impact the marketplace in a way that they will also respond and feel like they want to pay you too, like. But there are other areas, such as my personal experiences, like I used to play video games a lot. Not saying this to kind of like rag on my gamer community, guys. I love you guys. And it will always be in my heart. But in this season of my life, it doesn't make sense to put my energy and my time and my money into gaming, because it doesn't give me back the return that I want or that I am expecting. Perhaps in a different season in life, like I'm looking at, like, if I'm an older person, then I can kind of, in my retirement years when there's not much demand on me, I can enjoy some gaming again. But not right now, not in this season. It's just what makes sense for me right now. So much love and respect to people if that's your kind of way of getting into a flow state, relaxing and things like that. And I get that too. I understand that. But like, if you're just looking at like monetary, like direct monetary returns, if you're not running it as a business, like you're not an esports competitor, you're not a gaming streamer or something like that, then it just doesn't have that monetary return that I'm looking for right now. So I hope you get the point. But again, let's go back to ability to produce wealth. How do we do this? Typically, di ba, yung parang old way of doing it was like getting into higher education, such as doctor, lawyer, MBA. These are the people, white collar people, di ba, who get paid good money, like at the higher bracket of the income spectrum. And then there's the ability to produce wealth in the more informal sector, such as yung mga maglalako ng taho, mga nasa palengke, ganun. Some people can really progress as well, and really develop, because it's their ability to produce wealth that they're working on, even if they're not conscious of it or super aware of it. Um, Typical street vendor, syempre, iba yung style nila, di ba? Diskarte nila, hinahanap nila, they're serving a need. Again, back to economics. They're serving a need. And then, as an employee, you're also serving a need. It's just different ways and styles. And then, kung ano man yung expected na paycheck or anong expected na return, di ba? Iba-iba din. And so, this is something that we will learn together. And then, there's this other thing that I was talking about earlier already, like the digital or creator economy. This is like a new style of business na maganda din to invest in, because the effort sa start is like grabe ang effort mo to create something like videos. But the digital world, YouTube in particular, can multiply it. YouTube, Spotify, and all these other platforms now, they can multiply it without any additional effort from you. If people seek you out, they can watch your content without any additional effort from you, aside from the initial work and the initial distribution that you need to do. So it's a leveraged way of earning, making money, and it's worth exploring as well, in my opinion. All right. The ability to produce wealth. Okay. Medyo parang supporting point lang. Medyo ano talaga ako in a spiritual tangent, no? Pero, well, you know what? Money is a spiritual concept. I'll talk about that in the next podcast, I guess. But worship. Okay, let's talk about worship. I read this in the book once. Na yung worship, that if you separate the word, it's like worth and shape. And then whatever you give worth to shapes your life. Okay, so if that's God, if that's work, if that's business, if that's money, if that's whatever, it will shape your life. Kung ano man yung binibigyan mo ng halaga, it will shape your life. And this is the choice, the free choice that we make together. Diba? Within the bounds of ethics and reality, we're all free to make our own choices in life. And that's something that I encourage you to consider. What are you giving the most worth to? And so it ties into self-leadership now, because that usually kasi, 'di ba, if you're in the wrong position, where the money is, you will follow it. Kung saan man yung sa tingin mo may pera, yung mga get rich quick na mga investment schemes that are, kung medyo ano ka na talaga, very obvious talaga sila, na scams talaga sila. Pero people still fall for it. Why? Because they're chasing money. They're chasing the illusion that more money will save them from their problems, which they cause themselves also. I'm talking to myself here, guys, okay? Like, more money will not solve your bad decision making. Um, you need to cultivate the ability to make good decisions, good life decisions that will impact ultimately good money decisions. So you see what I did there? It's like life decisions. That's what you need to get good at. Because if you make good life decisions, the money to support those good life decisions will come naturally and will make sense. And then they will give you a return because you're making good life decisions. Okay, so it's self leadership. You should flip the. I hit the mic again, sorry. You should flip the perspective and lead yourself well, because kung i-lead mo yung sarili mo ng mabuti, the money will follow you. The money will follow your leadership and your direction. And you tell it what to do. Don't let other people tell what your money. Oh, sorry. Don't let other people tell your money what to do. Okay? Protect your money. You give it the commands. You give it the instructions. That's our perspective here in the ATP podcast. So, all right, guys. I hope that that was a different approach, no, different style. It's more of a conversational way, not too scripted, not too edited. I hope that you like this. Let me know your feedback in the comments kung ano yung nagustuhan nyo. Is it insightful? I would like to know what your thoughts are as well as we continue our journey together here in the ATP podcast. So that's it for the first episode, guys. I really truly hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.